Alright guys, I'm here with a bit of information for Dragon Ball Legends. So, we just got a brand new Legends team newsletter, and this one goes over a few of the new things that we're going to be getting in the game concerning the big update that's going to be happening in May. So, this is far too important not to talk about, so we're going to break down the entire thing. It's pretty long, but hopefully you guys will stick around for the entire thing because this is important. So, not wasting any time, let's get to it. So it says, thank you for your continued support of Dragon Ball Legends. Dragon Ball Legends will be celebrating its 7th anniversary this year in May. To make this special year as exciting as possible, as well as to ensure Legends can be played and enjoyed for many more years to come, we are currently hard at work on a massive version update. Here, we will explain some of the changes that challenges that Legends is facing with regard to character abilities and the effects those abilities have on the battle experience, which I think is a really good thing because, let's be honest, some units are just cracked, like straight up, and that's just that. Objective: to make character abilities easier to understand and to return to battles where a variety of elements and distinct character abilities are viable. Current challenges: since release, we have introduced many different characters in order to deliver unique gameplay experiences. However, a large number of characters have abilities that are too broad, and this has damaged the original appeal of Legends battle experience. In this notice, we will explain the 3 major issues we have identified and the ways in which we plan to address them. A lot of information will be covered, but we hope you'll read through it when you have the time. Okay, so starting with the first thing, homogenization of abilities, which I completely agree just based off of the title. In past PvP metas, Arts Card Draw Speed Up was a distinctive ability usually given to characters who demonstrated strong combo abilities in the original series. On the other hand, Tag Regeneration characters would have abundant ways to restore their health. In other words, each character had distinct characteristics. As more and more characters have been added, the number of characters with any given ability has increased. As a result, characters have become more and more homogeneous, making their individual characteristics harder to grasp. Another example of this is Element Disadvantage Nullification for damage sustained effects, which were only given to a select few units at first. Over time, many characters have started getting these effects, making it harder to enjoy element-based strategies. So pretty much what they're saying is everybody's the same now. That's pretty much it. Everybody has arts. I mean, obviously I'm exaggerating to an extent when I say everybody, but darn near everybody has Arts Card Draw Speed. Darn near everybody has the ability to be able to nullify element factor for damage sustained, like, and other abilities as well. Like, it's too common now. It's no longer unique, hence why it's homogeneous, because everybody has it. Again, just generalizing. Increase in characters with high combo power. Oh wow, I already have 2 that pop into mind with this alone. The same issue has occurred with Special Cover Change Nullification and Draw Speed Up effects. With combo capabilities continuously on the rise, matches often devolve into one-sided affairs where one player is on the receiving end of a lengthy combo. Some of you can probably recall times when you could only watch helplessly after a single mistake led to a combo that eventually destroyed your entire party. Currently, there are few opportunities to switch from defense to offense and vice versa, and this has damaged the play experience in battles. I have stated this for far too long. Combos last too long. I've said that so many times. The best example of a unit that is literally the epitome of this is transforming Vegito Blue. He is the epitome of this. Combos last far too long. A secondary unit on top of that would be transforming Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Combos last far too long. They have too many opportunities of nullifying cover change. It's a headache to deal with. Nobody wants to sit and get pummeled into oblivion for over 99 hits, right? Like combos that last like 100 timer counts. Nobody wants to deal with that, and I'm glad that they're finally addressing that because that's been a problem. Combos last for far too long. Okay, moving on. Increase in complexity and length of character abilities. Another result of single characters having such a wide variety of abilities is that the text of abilities has gotten quite long and difficult to understand. The conditions for activating abilities as well have only been getting more complex. They are difficult to parse for players who just started, but we expect they are also difficult for veteran players too. I completely agree with that. Again, abilities used to be pretty simple. Now there's just way too many. On top of that, adding Zenkais to that, which gives them 2 more abilities. So yeah. We consider the cause of both this issue and the aforementioned homogenization to be individual characters having too many abilities. The following sequence has contributed to this. Combo capabilities increase due to special cover change nullification, draw speed up, etc. Hand destruction, key reduction, and other disruption effects increase to combat those combo capabilities. 3. Hand destruction nullification, key reduction nullification, attribute downgrade nullification, and similar effects increase to combat those disruption effects. Another factor contributing to this is that, internally, we have set a limit of 70% for sustained damage cut effects when deciding character abilities. This was done to avoid possible confusion about all damage being reduced to 0 if damage cut effects were to exceed 100%. Okay, sure. How sustained damage cut works. Sustained damage cut effects cancels out the enemy's inflicted damage up effects. Even if sustained damage cut were to exceed 100%, this would not make all damage received 0. To prevent confusion, we intended to stay under the limit by maintaining defensive capabilities with hand destruction and recovery effects instead of more damage cut effects. Okay, that's fair. And again, like I said, just abilities are just far too long. They really do need to learn. Well, I won't say learn, but they do need to start simplifying it. I don't believe I'm the only one that agrees on that either. I'm pretty sure a lot of people that I've talked to in the community also agreed with that sentiment. Okay, addressing these issues. We plan to gradually implement the following improvements to these issues. Adjustments to combos incorporating steps, etc. Step combos. So that would be sidestep and charge step. Card draw and key recovery are reduced during step combos, but in order to prevent excessive comboing, increasing that reduction amount is being considered. Okay, so from my understanding, it seems like they're trying to... Yeah, card draw and key recovery are reduced during step combos. It sounds like they're actually trying to kill off charge step and sidestep. Like, it might have some viability. Like, we won't know until we actually like get to see like the new battle version. But based on what they're saying, it sounds like they're trying to kill it off because being able to, charge step and sidestep allows you to combo more efficiently, sure, but it allows combos to last far too long, and they're trying to fix that. So, again, we'll have to see how that plays out, in May. Adjustments to activation timing and length of special cover change nullification. Recent characters have already been released with these balance changes in mind. We plan to avoid giving future characters excessive amounts of special cover change nullification. Thank you. Legends Limited Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta only gets 5 counts of nullification. The special cover change nullification effects will not be discarded. I don't think it should be discarded either. We will continue making adjustments in order to create metas where special cover changes can be used more effectively. Totally fine. Again, as long as you adjust how long combos are, I think that'll be okay. But there's also a few other factors, like there are other things that come into play with that, because then you would also have to try to target certain unique gauges that have counters, right? So that'd be like, for example, the Mantra Vegetas, the Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Gogetas, the Beast Gohans, Ultra Beast Gohans, like things of that sort. So we'll see what they do. All right, continuing. Adjustments to length and activation opportunities for element disadvantage nullification. We consider a variety of factors when deciding the element of a new character, but one of the most important is whether specific parties need a given element. However, element disadvantage nullification has increasingly been used as a way to ensure characters have competitive abilities if the meta, when they are released, features characters they have an element disadvantage against. Examples of characters released into unfavorable metas will be LL Super Saiyan God Goku or LL Omega Shenron. I think the best example of that would have been the Red Pycon. That unit was huge, but that was many years ago. In order to emphasize the fun of building teams around elements, we intend to reduce the length and opportunities to activate element disadvantage nullification. Instead, we will adjust more fundamental abilities like inflicted damage increases or sustained damage reduction to balance characters. Okay, but if that's the case, you're gonna have to rework a lot of characters in the past to work with that, especially like if these characters are going to be getting Zenkai abilities, right? Because it's one thing for them to start doing that now for like newer units, but you would have to find a way to make those new units outshine the older units while having all of these new changes, which is going to be pretty hard, right? Because again, we have units that are able to nullify cover change for a very, very long time. We have units that are able to combo forever, right? We have units that are able to have some sort of defense against certain element factors, right? Even if they're at a disadvantage. So you gotta find a way to make that work alongside, you know, the old units that are more than likely not going to have those restrictions. And again, even with Zenkais, if those Zenkais, like new Zenkais, reflect those new changes, you gotta find a way to make that work. So again, that's just things that we'll have to see in due time. But again, I'm still open to the change because, let's be honest, there is change that needs to be made. Adjustments to disruption and recovery abilities. The limit on sustained damage cut effects was one of the causes for increase in disruption and recovery abilities, and so it has been removed. Oh, damage cut effects will now be called damage guard. No changes will be made to how they function. Oh, okay. We plan to gradually reduce excessive disruption and recovery abilities in the future, or in future characters, making up for a difference with more fundamental abilities. I'm sorry if I'm like stumbling a lot. Again, I just woke up and really tired, but I gotta talk about this. Specific example, where reduced ki by 40 would have been considered previously, the character will instead get reduced ki by 20 and higher damage guard values. Okay, sure. Starting in April, characters will have greatly increased values for effects like inflicted damage up and damage guard, previously sustained damage cut, but their overall power will not be drastically stronger compared to existing characters. Again, something that we'll have to see, because I mean, April is tomorrow, and ironically, as I'm recording this video, around an hour ago, we just got the confirmation of our April Fool's unit, and it's going to be Mercenary Tau. So yeah, I'm pretty sure Mercenary Tau is probably going to be releasing with those type of abilities. If not, then probably the next like actual like summonable sparking unit. But yeah, Mercenary Tau, we'll see if he has that ability, because what, today's Monday, so we should be getting Mercenary Tau, I think, what, tonight, so during reset. So we'll see how that works. Revisions to ability text. Oh please, it's those texts are just way too long. Ability text has become so lengthy that it becomes hard to understand, so we will be addressing that issue, with the goal of making the abilities of future characters easier to read and understand. We are revising the rules for ability text. We will also be moving excessive explanatory text to the in-game help. Okay, that's fair-ish. It's fair-ish. Ability effects that activate at the start of battle are being moved into a new starter ability section. Okay, we plan to consider other solutions, such as turning specific effects into icons. The new ability text is still a work in progress, but here is a specific example. Before, apply buff effect nullifies enemy special actions that activate when changing cover to self for 3 timer counts. After, thank you, nullify special cover change 3 counts. I don't know why they just never simplified it. You know what I mean? Like, it's and same thing for like, you know, endurance and like revival and all that stuff. It's like there are terms that you could use to simplify the text. You don't have to always say nullifies enemy special actions that activate when changing cover to self for however many counts. Just say they nullify special cover change. That's it. I'm so happy about that, because holy. Okay, moving on. Summary of planned adjustments. Those are all the adjustments currently planned. We will begin to apply them to characters beginning or being released in April 2025. So sure enough, again, old units are not really going to get those effects, apart from probably like the readjustment of like the statement of their abilities and stuff. But new characters are going to get those abilities and changes and whatnot. Anyway, we will begin to apply them to characters being released in April 2025. And the number of complexity of abilities will be reduced gradually over an extended period of time. We are doing this gradually to prevent newer characters from being unable to compete against those released before April 2025. In the current meta, if you were to build a party around a character who was given 200% damage guard in exchange for having little to no combo stopping capability, it is possible you will never be able to stop your opponent's combo. We expect you would simply lose after spending 180 timer counts or pretty much the entire match being comboed by your opponent. We're making adjustments with the overall meta in mind to ensure characters are not weaker because the number of abilities has been reduced. Ultimately, our goal is to make character abilities easier to understand and to return to battles where a variety of elements and distinct character abilities are viable. We do not intend to make a game where characters compete using only their base stats. And then we got the conclusion. With each new character release, abilities have gotten longer and more complex. As Legends celebrates its 7th anniversary, we're working hard to address this issue and make Legends battles more exciting than ever. Our goal is to make character abilities easier to understand and to return to battles where a variety of elements and distinct character abilities are viable. We fully understand that this will put a lot of pressure on you, our players, as you adjust to these new changes, but we hope we can make up for it by delivering new and better battle experiences. We humbly ask for your patience and understanding. Our team is hard at work making Legends even more fun so that it can be played and enjoyed for many more years to come. As always, we hope you continue to enjoy Dragon Ball Legends, Toshi and Tani, Dragon Ball Legends management team. Wow, that was a lot to talk about. But again, I do think that this was very, very important to note because of the fact that, again, for example, abilities, let's be honest, they are far too long. I'm glad that they're starting to like consolidate the terms so that way the point still gets across, just simpler, right? That way anybody can understand, because I've been saying too that abilities are just too lengthy. So like for newer players especially, it seems very overwhelming and potentially daunting. For veterans, like, we know what they are, right? So it's like, okay, cool, like we understand this, we understand that. But even at that, it is still somewhat confusing to some veterans. So simplifying that is nice. Doing the things with the sustained damage cut, changing up how that works. Again, we're also getting changes to charge step and side step, like reducing combos lasting 15 years. There's a lot that's going to be happening, right? And this is only some of the changes that will be happening. Remember, there's more stuff that's going to be happening alongside this. So this is the first major change that we're getting in the game after, quite a while. So we'll have to see how this is going to work out with Legends. Again, that also kind of depends on Mercenary Tau, because like I said earlier, about an hour ago as of this recording, we got the confirmation of the April Fool's unit, and that unit is a brand new sparking Mercenary Tau. But the thing is, we don't know if he's going to be coming with those, changes, or if he's going to be like the last unit that comes without those changes, and then the first summonable unit, like the first summonable sparking unit or ultra, whatever the case may be. It's probably not gonna be ultra because anniversary's in May, and we're pretty much in April, but one of the newer summonable units would have those abilities. So again, we don't know, we'll see. We should be getting details for Mercenary Tau. Like if he doesn't release tonight at reset, he will definitely be releasing tomorrow at reset for April Fools. So still gonna be interesting to see how Legends goes from here. And I am curious to see the newer things that they bring alongside these changes to the game in May. But again, like I said, early in the morning, I stumbled a lot, but hopefully you guys got through it with me. But I really do want to know what you guys think about all these major changes in the comment section below. But with that being said, I'm Ndukauba, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.